Someone gave me a chemistry set when I was in around 8th grade probably, and the only thing of note I did with it was to try to make nitroglycerin. Fortunately, I failed.
When I was a little kid, probably 6, 7, 8 years old, I just found myself always interested in science, most probably in physics and astronomy. By the time I got to college, I realized I wasn't quite smart enough to be a physicist.
The discovery of proto-oncogenes by the research group that Harold Varmus and I were supervising was not an accident.
People were just beginning to understand how we could make use of molecular tools to understand a disease as complex as cancer.
Mike and Harold's fundamental discovery, for which they won the Nobel Prize, was of course the demonstration that within the mammalian genome, all of our cells, we harbor the fundamental building blocks of cancer.
From the start, Mike and I recognized a kinship, a love of literature and history, as well as an interest in using the new tools of the emerging field of molecular biology to try to understand cancer at its fundamental level.
Mike was just a major figure in my life. The science that came out of his and Harold's lab was always fantastic.
Mike displayed during his years as chancellor a remarkable sensitivity to the needs of the community in San Francisco, the state of California, and the nation with respect to the development of science at the University of California.
What Mike did was to really help spearhead this whole concept that every cancer is unique.
That's what personalized medicine is, evaluating the individual's susceptibility. In the case of medicine, it's will the disease respond to the drug?
Regarding the intersection between academia and the business sector, it's a very, very tight linkage.
Art Levinson's a remarkable individual. I got to know him because he worked as a postdoctoral fellow with me. He had just gotten his PhD. It wasn't too surprising to me when he came and asked whether he thought it would be okay if he went and worked in this small startup company, Genentech. And at that time, cancer was not regarded as a promising market. Art didn't buy that. He worked within the company to foster an interest in cancer, rose to leadership responsibility quite early, and became one of the most successful CEOs in the history of the biotech industry.
Art was really the one who made Genentech a great place to work. People at Genentech come to work with the idea that we're going to come in and try and make a difference in patients' lives, and we're going to try and help people.
The secret to success, I think, is his ability to keep two things in mind. One, the bottom line, but two, the science.
You find many, many people who are terrific scientists. I think you find many people who are great leaders, but that it's extremely rare to find one person that's both.
The mechanism that Art discovered is the underpinning for one of the largest new categories of drugs out there for cancer.
He's remained, in spite of all of his success, a very humble person, which is something that we all really appreciate.
Science is an amazing discipline if you're so inclined. There's just some profound questions out there, and going through the process of trying to understand the answers to these questions is, at least for certain people, immensely satisfying.
I'm proud to have been associated with Art, and he's a wonderful person as well.
Mike was just a major figure in my life, a very smart guy, and was always found a way to ask the right question.
If you've got a heretical idea, you'd be well advised to put some time into testing it, because most of the time great discoveries start out as heretical ideas.